To Celebrity Radio, it's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got one for you today, a lady we've spoken to over the last 10, 15, maybe even 20 years on tour and across the UK. Maureen Nolan, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to me today. We've got so much to cover. We're going to talk Peter Pan this Christmas in Blackpool at the Winter Gardens. We're going to talk about Footloose on tour with Gareth Gates currently. But first, I know you've been through so much the last few years, and the last few months have been awful with the news that your sister Linda has got cancer. Firstly, Maureen, are you okay? It's been a tough couple of months, hasn't it, for the Nolans?
It has, yeah. Well, a tough couple of years, actually, with Linda and Bernie and all that. But, yeah, we're all getting through it. We're a great help to each other, really. I suppose most families would say that. You all help each other to get through it. And there's no real choice. You can either... There's two choices: pull the covers over your head, never get out of bed, or just get on with it, really, So we choose to get on with it.
Does it help people like me and loose women sticking our noses in and caring, or does that actually distract? I wonder whether it's a blessing in disguise or not.
I absolutely think it really helps. I mean, since Linda did the loose women thing, the amount of support she's had, and just people generally, as you find out at times like this, they're generally lovely, aren't they? Caring, and it's just really nice to know there's so many people out there that do care and that are supportive. So yeah, and with when Bernie passed away as well, it was amazing the amount of support we got, and mail, and it's just really, and it did help.
It must be lovely at this point, knowing so many years on, 40, nearly 50 years on, that the public just love you. We are your brothers and sisters. It's extraordinary, isn't it?
I mean, it's really moving. When we did our reunion tour as well in 2009, I mean, we never got used to that feeling of just love, when we came out on stage. And it took us a bit by surprise, but it's just amazing. Yeah, I think... Maybe it's because people kind of grew up with us. So, we had our fans were very young to very old. So it was a massive sort of wide variety of ages,
What has been your favourite role? Was it the Mrs. Johnson in Blood Brothers, which is iconic, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a mad Blood Brothers fan. So, I don't think there's a better role, really, than that. For me, anyway. I mean, it's... Mrs. Johnson is funny and feisty and strong, and she gets to do a lot of comedy, and she sings great songs. I mean, it's not to love, really, as an actress,
And there you are at the moment back in the West End doing it again. I suppose it's just wonderful to be in work. That's the ultimate test of survival in this business, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. That's exactly what it comes down to. We still have mortgages to pay as well, so it's a little bit of that as well. So it's fantastic to be in work, and I'm lucky enough to have been in work constantly for the past couple of years. So, yeah, and I'm in Footloose at the moment in the West End. So it's such a fun musical. It's amazing.
Do you ever get tired of the interest in you? I mean, I Googled you today and there's endless Mirror and Mail and Sun articles about your private life. Has it ever become too much? Because the thing about the Nolans, we love you and we want to know all about you, but the downside of that is you've got to give so much, haven't you?
Yeah, I suppose you kind of get used to that. The thing that you don't get used to is the very small percentage of people that are nasty. That kind of always hurts slightly, but you just got to concentrate on the good side of that. And as I say, the support we've received over the last couple of years and the love has been just amazing. So you have to take a little bit of badness with that, I suppose, as well.
I know Colleen came off Twitter for that reason. She was sick of reading it. Do you get involved in any of that?
Well, I mean, Colleen was horribly trolled on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter because of that as well, because I just feel that Twitter especially is like saying to every kind of weird person you've met in your life, here's my mobile number. Feel free to abuse me whenever you want.
It's true. Yeah.
So...
It's a shame because it gives access, which some people love. And again, that's part of being a fan. But then, as you say, it just opens you up to all the other stuff.
Yeah, there's always going to be weird people out there, so I don't want to give them that opportunity,
Let's talk about you and your health. I wonder whether you sit there at night sometimes after what's happened with Bernie and what's currently going on with Linda. Do you worry about yourself? I mean, obviously you get checked and all of that stuff, but it's got to play on your mind.
There's no point in saying you don't worry. I mean, obviously you do, but there's also no point in letting that overtake your life. If it's going to happen, in my opinion, it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So regular checkups hopefully will catch it at an early stage if it happens. But you really just got to get on with your life, haven't you? I mean, you can't sit there. Otherwise, you really would never go outside. You wouldn't get out of bed, would you?
No, I know. And how is Linda as we speak?
She's fantastic. You know, I mean, she's amazing. She's had an awful lot over the last 10 years, actually. So it's all been thrown at her with her husband's death and everything. But she's amazing. So strong.
Yeah.
You know, and I always say to her, I'm not sure I'd be as strong. All my sisters, Anne had cancer as well in 2000, breast cancer, and then Bernie, and then Linda, and they've been just so strong. And now we realise that we as women, we are very strong women, and I think generally women are, aren't they? Well,
Yeah.
and men, you know, I mean, obviously men go through an awful lot as well, but the women in our family have proved themselves to be very strong, so, you know, we feel we can handle anything that's thrown at us at the moment.
And I notice the solidarity shows in different ways. You've always been incredibly loving and gentle as a person. I notice Colleen, though, goes the other way. She likes to tease, doesn't she? That's her way of dealing with it.
Yeah, I think Colleen covers a lot up with humour, and we do as a family actually do that. And I think any family will say the same thing, that you just have to laugh. I mean, laughter is such a great medicine, you know, in any situation. So even in the worst situations. So, yeah, we do laugh a lot, and Colleen is wicked, yeah.
Fearless.
It always makes us laugh, you know, so.
And your life now, I mean, you're obviously in the West End at the moment. This Christmas you'll be back in Blackpool, which is where you live, as does Linda. I mean, you must be incredibly close, not only geographically, but also as sisters. I guess this is the perfect Christmas to be home.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. I mean, I had a couple of other offers, and maybe financially there were better offers, but it was being at home. I've got 3 grandchildren now as well. I can go and see all the nativity plays and whatever, and to be with Linda as well, you know. So she was thrilled as well that I was working in Blackpool. Yeah.
Will this Christmas be even special? Are you all going to get together? Will Linda be with you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We nearly always get together at Christmas anyway. And I mean, most of us still live in Blackpool, so whenever I'm home, we're always together. So definitely, yeah, Christmas, all the kids, it's complete chaos, as you can imagine. But all the grandkids, yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great time, our favourite time.
This year I've been up in Blackpool, I think 5 or 6 times, and I'm falling back in love with it. I think for a while it was so dilapidated and old-fashioned that it became unusable. Now I just feel great warmth towards it. The theatres are thriving and busy, the lights look beautiful, and the place seems to be heaving.
They've made a real effort and spent an awful lot of money on making, cleaning it up really, and as you say, I was tired. And they're putting a lot of money into the entertainment side of things again. And I don't know, I mean, we all ended up moving back to Blackpool after living in London for so long. It's just a fun place. And also it's a place that we went to school at, you know. So, yeah, I'm a great ambassador for Blackpool, actually. I hate when people go to Blackpool and they just go along the prom, but they don't go and see Stanley Park, which is one of the nicest parks. It's right in the centre of Blackpool, you know. Some beautiful parts of Blackpool, certainly the surroundings, the Fyle, the Lake District, you know. So, yeah.
I got the tram to Fleetwood last week, and I went to see Sid Little in his pub where he's got a little restaurant. I mean, it's showbiz on every corner, isn't it? It's fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I love all that.
We know Sid really well. Yeah, Little and Large. And also Bobby Ball lives in Blackpool. And I think some of the Grumbleweeds, real variety, the old variety.
Beautiful, isn't it?
It's amazing, yeah.
Let's talk about Peter Pan, which is coming to the Winter Gardens this Christmas. You've got Jake and you've got Jennifer, who are going to be starring alongside you. This is a slightly different production in the sense that it's neither a musical nor a pantomime, somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between, yeah. I think they're more leaning towards Peter Pan the musical as opposed to Peter Pan the pantomime, but I'm really looking forward to it. I've done Mrs. Darling before in a Peter Pan the musical as well, and also in a panto. So, you know, panto's always fun. Mrs. Darling isn't in it that very much, but I'm really looking forward to being at home, and I think it's going to be a really good fun panto.
I was just thinking about the kids at Christmas and coming to see you in this show. How many grandkids are there now?
I have 3. Anne has 3. So, is that it? Colin's got 1.
Yeah.
Oh, how could I forget? So 7.
That must be fun at Christmas. And then you've got Shane added in and all the other ones to cause even more trouble.
Yeah, all the nieces, nephews, cousins, and it's amazing. And it's nice because my son was an only child, but they're so close to, like, Colin's 2 boys and my brother's boy and girl, and they've got like this cousins app. They're very, very close as well, so it's nice to see that, you know.
And especially at times of trouble or when people need support, to have so many people around must be wonderful. I mean, it is that. We've said before, I think I did an interview with you all when you went back on tour for the reunion, and that sense of solidarity must be like a comfort blanket around you all, really.
Linda said that. She says it's like this massive sort of big defence wall moving in. As soon as anything happens in your life, people come from all directions and form a circle around you of support and defence, you know. And it's fantastic to have that. I think any certainly large family know what that's like.
And I know the press love to talk to you about your private life. You must get sick of being asked. Are you still Tindering, dating? Are you on these apps? What are you doing?
I certainly haven't ever gone on Tinder yet, but you never know. No, mainly I've been on a couple of dates with guys that I knew a while ago, or you know, that I met through the business, you know. But basically, I'm single. I'm enjoying life. You know, marriage breakups, even though ours was really, you know, we're still great friends and stuff. We take the grandkids out together. It's still very difficult. Again, as any of your listeners will know. But you know, I'm enjoying life and getting on with it.
It's finding a new normal, isn't it? It's like a bereavement in the beginning, and you just have to find your feet again.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of almost have to find another life for yourself, kind of, which doesn't involve this person, you know. But I'm getting there.
Is show business a help, walking out on stage and getting the round of applause?
I think show business is a help, as in it gets you out of bed. Right. And I think any kind of work helps in that respect. You have to get up and work, and before you know it, time's a great healer as well. So time has passed, you know.
And I guess there's always those days in the beginning when you wonder what is the point, and you go through that sort of self-loathing period. Did you have that where sort of it was tricky getting up?
Definitely. At the beginning, it was very difficult going into work. And there was many days where I thought, well, I can't today. I'll phone in, but I managed not to miss a day through it all. And, you know, in Footloose, I sing a very poignant song, which was very appropriate for my situation at the time. So that was difficult at the time. But it's all experience and learning, isn't it? Yeah.
And at least you've got your family around you. And
and they've all been there through it all and really supportive again. Yeah, so, yeah.
And again, at a time like this, I guess you realise that actually health is the most important, and anything else is almost irrelevant, isn't it?
It puts everything into perspective, doesn't it, when this happens with Linda? Yeah.
What about that Gareth Gates? He's a nice bit of trouser. What about him?
Oh, he's such a lovely guy. And
hugely talented, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we all know that he looks good and that he sings well, but he plays a comedy part in Footloose with me, and he's just so good. But of course, I didn't realise, maybe a lot of people don't, that he's done a lot of West End stuff, you know, a lot of stuff generally, and really, really talented and lovely guy as well. But too young for me.
Oh, it's a shame. I guess in one way you have a lot in common, in a sense that he started young, got famous as a kid, as did you, and has worked ever since. I mean, you've got the same ethic, if nothing else.
A lot of good chats, and he's come through it all and just remained a really nice guy. So that's all you can ask for, really, isn't it?
That's the nicest,
Still
isn't
working,
it? Yep.
Working all the time, so... Yeah.
Maureen, I love to talk to you. Congratulations on everything. You are one of our greatest talents and also one of the hardest working. Footloose continues in the West End until the end of the month. And will it be going back on tour, or is it done when you finish London?
Well, after the West End, we have a week in Bridlington and then a week in Liverpool, and that's the end of the tour. So, week in Bridlington, I think the second week in October is in Bridlington, and the last week is in Liverpool. So,
beautiful.
That's the end of the tour. And then I think they're talking about maybe an international tour of it next year, so who knows?
You can't go wrong. It's a classic show. And then, of course, we look forward to Peter Pan at the Winter Gardens from the 19th of December. It's going to be a huge spectacular with Jake Quickenden and Jennifer Ellison as well, starring Maureen Nolan. And it's always lovely to talk to you. Keep on keeping on. Great to talk to you.
Oh, thanks so much. Thank you.